Okay. Hello, my name is Arlene Pimentel. I am the district-wide family engagement facilitator. Thank you for joining us for session 3, PA 529 College and Career Savings Program. With me, I have Jimmy Zumba, Community Engagement Manager for Consumer Programs from the Department of Treasury, and Karen Carr, the Outreach Specialist for Department of Treasury. Just a little information before we do get started with the presentation. Please remember to keep your microphone muted. This will help us for uh, our recording so that you're not on the recording. And also, if you can type any questions in the chat in the meantime, one of our RSD employees will be able to answer it for you. Okay. At the end of the presentation, you will also have an opportunity to ask questions. You will be able to unmute at that point. We will not be recording. So if you want to hold off with your questions, you can do that as well. As a reminder, how to mute your microphone, although you're all doing wonderfully. Just a reminder on your phone at the bottom, you will see a little microphone. Just click on it and make sure that there is a diagonal line on it or that it's red. And that should tell you if you are or are not muted. Same thing on your computer. And then if you don't know how to ask questions, at the bottom of your phone, you will see the three little dots. You will click on that three little dots and in call messages, and there you will be able to write your question at the bottom. In your computer, it will be right down at the bottom. It'll have a little square with some lines on it. And then you just click the blue arrow, and that will send us the message or question. So the parent seminars are a new program that we're doing here at the Reading School District. It came about due to the responses from our parent training needs survey that we give every year. And the parent seminars discuss different topics. So every month we will have one session, and then they will be recorded and put on our YouTube page for you to see later on. The only exception to this will be our January, February sessions. Those will be in person, and it is how to use our technology. So that can be our Home Access Center, Ingenuity, Google Classroom, any technology that we use in the district, like the Home Access Center. You can learn how to use all of those as well as create accounts if you need to. Our March session will be March 20th, and it's going to focus on our special education program and how it works and what your rights as a parent are. And then in April, we will be talking about all the testing that we do throughout the school year, and also how to read the results from those exams. Finally, our May session will talk about summer, what options you have here in the district, as well as opportunities out in the community. So now I will pass it over to Karen Carr, who's going to be talking to us about the PA 529 program and some other programs that they have for you.
We have many gifts for people. Thank you so much, Arlene. And my voice is croaky today. I have to apologize. I suppose I should share my screen rather than my fireplace that I have behind me. Yes. But I wanted to be festive today and show some spirit. So we have some Christmas spirit behind us. I'm going to go ahead and share my slides. Let's see if it will let me. Here we go. Give me a minute. Thank you very much. Do you see my slides yet?
Yes, we do.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us today on a Monday morning in the busy month of December. I am very grateful. I don't know how many of you have children that you're saving for college. I imagine if you're with the Reading School District, all of you are thinking about saving perhaps for future education for your children. I don't know how many of you have any children that are 5 years old or under, or going to be 6 next year. If you do, we have a particular slide for you and a particular program from the Pennsylvania State Treasury. It is called Keystone Scholars. This particular program provides children, your children, with a free $100 investment in them. It's automatically invested, and this is to be used for any kind of post-high school training and education expenses. This investment is invested at the Treasury, and it will grow right alongside your children and can be used once your child turns 18. We're excited to have this. It's a gift to your child, really. Because what we determined when we were looking at how to help people save rather than have so much financial debt, we looked at what we called child development accounts. And this is why we're providing this $100 investment. We are providing hope for your families. We know from research that these child savings accounts or child development accounts have a very positive benefit for children and their families. These include things like more positive parenting scores, doing better as a parent, higher educational expectations for your children, right? Um, you will continue to have that in your head as you have these accounts. It shows things such as reduced maternal depression and better social and emotional development of your children over time. But most importantly, the research will show that children with an educational savings account of any sort in their name, so these child development accounts like what Keystone Scholars is, they are 3 times more likely to go on for future education and 4 times more likely to graduate. Those things are important. We want to be helping our children and our future generations to do better. These effects are generally even greater for the most financially vulnerable families. And it's regardless of whether the families have saved on their, whether they saved on their own and whether how much, it doesn't matter. The benefits are even greater for those who are most financially vulnerable. It doesn't matter how much you put aside, $5, $10, $100 over time, right? This $100 is going to make and have an effect that shows that somebody believes in them and somebody cares about them, right? So it's more significant when offered together with social services. You'll see even greater effects of this. We have these goals in mind to help parents maintain high expectations for their children's future and their future education in particular, and then providing that future-focused identity in children where they're thinking about their future. They know they have this account. It's in their heads that, hey, somebody expects me to do this. And then the final thing is to help parents start saving, prompting you. I know when my children were young, I thought about saving for future education, but I didn't do it. This helps parents start saving as early as possible to give that opportunity for the funds to grow, the longest time to grow, because that's where you're going to get your most money over time, right? We want to see children in Pennsylvania, especially those from disadvantaged socioeconomic backgrounds, but really every child, successfully complete that post-high school education of their choice without unreasonable debt. So we would like to see that happen and to have these families have a more secure future. I think also the gainful employment that comes from going on for future education is pretty substantial. I mean, we have numbers that show that over a lifetime, it's more than $1 million that a person can save. A person can earn when they go on for future education. So those things are important. Remember, this is a $100 deposit into your child's account, the Keystone Scholars is. If you have a 5-year-old, 4-year-old, 3-year-old, 2-year-old, 1-year-old, all of those children currently qualify. This program started in January 1st of 2019. As of January 1st, 2025, it'll be the 6-year-olds, right, that this will be available for. This is going to be just a deposit in their name, and we are at the Treasury, at the Pennsylvania State Treasury, we are investing it for the 18 years. So it will grow over time. In order to sign up for this account, if you have a child that's this age, if you know somebody who has a child that's in this age range, somebody just having a child, be sure to tell them about this account. Really, this is the only way we have of doing this. We will mail this out to families, but we don't always have current addresses. And you may actually see this form that you see here come to you in the mail, and you might think, people tell me this, it's just junk mail. I'm throwing it away. It's a scam. It is not a scam. It's for real. This is a letter that you receive for us, and we're going to encourage the families to sign up on our website. If you get this letter, follow the instructions. If you don't get this letter, you're getting our information now. And you will see that it's very simple. You're just going to complete this by going to pa529.com if you don't have the letter. And Arlene will have the information for you. It's not a problem at all. You're just going to put in the zip code, the child's date of birth, the unique code found on the letter, or the information from the birth certificate. You can find that and use that on here. You're going to put in a current email address. You're going to verify that, and that's how we're going to keep in touch, and then you're going to register. It's that simple. You cannot add money to this account, right? But you can, it will grow, and then you can take it out. But you can then go ahead and tell other families, claim your Keystone, help them claim their Keystone Scholars account, because now you'll know how to do it. You can help them start to save. You can put your own money into a 529 plan, which is what we're here to specifically talk more about right now. So what is the Pennsylvania 529 College and Career Savings Program? What is that? It is a way to save. Now, this is separate from the Keystone Scholars. Remember, the Keystone Scholars sit separately. This is an account that belongs to you, that you open as a parent, and you keep this account, and you can put your own money in here. As little as $1, $5, $10, or one large lump sum, whatever you can afford to do. But we have two plans at the Pennsylvania State Treasury, and we're lucky to have these great plans. One is called the Pennsylvania 529 Guaranteed Savings Plan, which is going to let you save at today's tuition rates, what it costs right now to go to Reading Area Community College or the University of Pennsylvania, or wherever you're planning on, where you think you might have your children go to school. It allows you to save at those rates today. You're going to buy credits today at those rates, and then pay for those down the road with what you've already bought today. We also have the 529 investment plan. This offers a number of investment options that are tied to the financial markets. The really big key to this, besides offering these great plans, is the tax advantages that you're going to get from this. The tax advantages allow you to keep more money in your pocket to be able to pay for those educational expenses, because you can deduct money off of your state taxes when you contribute to this. And then the really big thing is you're going to earn money over time in these accounts. You're going to earn. And when you take the money out to use it for your educational expenses, guess what? You will not pay any taxes back to the federal government as long as you use them for those expenses. That's just more money in your pockets for education. You can use these savings accounts. It is money that you're putting away, right? Not just for college, but also for career, apprenticeship programs, K through 12, if you want to save for any private schools, K through 12, and then a qualified student loans up to $10,000 lifetime for just student loans. But the other, the K through 12 and the apprenticeship programs, you can use whatever money you set aside and earned for those programs. I'm going to quickly try to go through the two plans for you a little bit more in depth. The guaranteed savings plan, as I mentioned, lets you earn at today's tuition rates for tomorrow's costs. And you're going to decide, you're going to make your contributions based on, when you put the money in, whether it comes from a paycheck or you send us a check in the mail, or if you're going to have it come from a bank account or other people are contributing, however you're contributing, it's going to be based on a tuition level that you're going to pick within this guaranteed savings plan. And we have 5 average levels that you select from, which I'll show you in a minute. But basically, you can change those levels at any time. But it's something that you want to save towards for your children. You may not know where they want to go, but you want to save towards a certain level of where you think you can save for. Treasury manages the underlying funds in this. And there is a residency required for the guaranteed savings plan. So either you have to be a resident of Pennsylvania when you open this, or your beneficiary has to be a resident. Your child has to be a resident of the state of Pennsylvania when you open it. You don't have to stay a resident of the state. I want to talk about the investment plan next, side by side. You can see the two of them. Guaranteed savings plan is going to be the way that tuition changes. The investment plan is tied to the financial markets. This has a variety of stocks and bonds and time-dated funds. Right now, the market is just crazy, and you're doing very well. You have your contributions are going to the investment plan. You have to be willing to go with risk and reward if you like the investment plan, which I do. I have both. I have the investment plan and the guaranteed savings plan. And you can really grow your contributions within this account as they change with the financial markets. So it's based on how those performance funds do that you select. You can select from a wide variety, and they are excellent investment funds that you can select from. You can find those better on our website, and I would urge you to take a look at them. But realize, that there's risk and reward, and there's no residency requirement. People from all over the country and even out of the country invest in our 529 IP or investment plan because we are very top rated. We're one of 2 gold rated in the nation, and people are jumping in this left and right. Let me go over the guaranteed savings plan. I'm sorry to go back and forth, but let me go over this one more time. The guaranteed savings plan, the growth on your account contributions, what you're going to put in, is going to keep pace with the way that tuition changes over time. So I bought credits at the private school level, thinking that maybe my children might go to a private school one day, or they might go to a public school. It didn't really matter, but I wanted to know when I put my money in how much I was saving towards potential private school with a scholarship for them. And so I put my money in the guaranteed plan, and I was able to purchase what would look like credits at the private school rate, and know over time that whatever I already bought, if I bought a semester's worth, no matter how much that school's tuition went up over time, I had the safety and security of knowing that I had already paid for that. And it was covered. And I could tell my sons, you have 1 semester paid for at such and such a school, or you have 2 semesters paid for at a private school. That's how this basically works. It's a low level of risk because you've already purchased it, so to speak. It really does protect you from the risk of the financial markets. And I'm really glad that I had utilized that tool, and that I still keep it open. Even though both of my sons have graduated, I keep my accounts open for potential future grandchildren because that's another wonderful thing about these accounts. I'm showing you the average tuition levels that you can select to save from, where you think your children might wind up going or what you can afford to pay for them, these are just ideas. If they're going to go to a state school, these are the state schools that we utilize. But if they're going to go out of state, they can still go out of state and utilize these particular savings levels. And when you get to that point where you want to use these to take the money out, or if you have more questions about it, our 800 number, if you call them anytime other than now in December, so if you call them in January through May or June or July, you can talk with our customer service representative and they'll explain this in more detail to you. But the important thing is to get going with it, to get signed up, to pick, a plan that you're comfortable with and to pick a level that you think you might be able to save at and get started. And then, we can help you down the road with the management of your account over time. But get started. That's the point. I'm going to go over the investment plan now one more time. This is very much structured according to other savings plans that you might see, that like you might already have a Roth IRA or a 401k that you have with your employer. It's very similarly structured to that you pick your underlying investments, and then based on what you select, that will grow according to your choices. And you're going to put your money in and it will grow accordingly. It's based on the stock market and those underlying funds. Really quite simple in that respect, but we have another great way to save and to go to our website and to look at what those choices are. And then the investment plan, as I said, is top rated. We're one of only 2 gold plans that you can select from. So we have people that are just jumping into both of our plans right now to join this immense growth that we're having to save for future education. I want to mention 2 other programs very quickly. We have the tuition rewards and you gift. If you think your child might be going to a private education, a private school, I would definitely look, and this is for post-secondary education, not K through 12. If they're going to go on for a future education at a private school, sign up for the tuition rewards. There's no downside to this. This has allowed some people to get a full tuition of scholarship money to take care of a whole semester, perhaps, at a private school. By putting their contributions in, you're going to get matches on your contributions at these various schools. There is a website for Sage Tuition Rewards. I would ask you to take a look at that website and find out more about it, but it is not hurtful at all to sign up for that when you sign up for an account with your 529 plan. The other one that is great is called YouGift. So this is a way to give a gift. There's a little, when you sign up for an account and you have it all set up and you're starting to save for your children, for their future, and you're putting money aside, you can have, there's a small icon that looks like a gift box. You can click on that and send that link via email to other individuals within the family. Think of birthdays and Christmas coming along. You'll have that link to give them so that they can really give a truly meaningful gift back, to put money right into their 529 account. That is YouGift. I contribute to other people's accounts, and by contributing, I get a tax deduction off of my state taxes. As well as you, by putting money in here, you're going to get that tax deduction. So it is a wonderful way to do that. If you want to give a small toy, fine, but the real gift is giving them that gift of their future education. Let's go over this again with both plans and how this looks. Remember, you can use your funds for qualified educational expenses at all kinds of institutions. Remember, college, career, K through 12, and technical and training programs. You can also use the money you've saved in this account as a qualified educational expense to pay not only for tuition, but the room and board on and off campus, computers, computer-related expenses, those books, art supplies, nursing, stethoscope, all of those kinds of things. The tools that they actually need are qualified expenses when they come out of that account, and you're not paying taxes back. You've got that money extra to pay for those things. You can easily contribute from your paycheck or a bank account. I do both. I have some come from my paycheck. I have some come from a bank account. And even though I said that my children have grown, their accounts for them are done, but I'm saving for future grandchildren, which I don't even have yet, but they better get busy. So I'm still saving that, and it's wonderful how that grows over time. And then you're going to get those federal tax benefits through the Pennsylvania 529. The important part, as I said, is to steadily and strategically save as soon and as often as you can. That money comes out of my paycheck, and I really don't notice it because I'm used to it. I live within my means and let this money go and accrue here for future generations. So every little bit counts, and it really adds up. I'm going to end with the 529 there and tell you about a couple of other programs that you may not know we have at the Treasury. One is the PA Able Savings Program. This is for individuals with disabilities to be able to save in a likewise format to that 529 that we just talked about. It is a savings program. You put the money away, but it's for an individual with disability to be able to save and keep their important government benefits like SSI or SSDI. If you know someone who's receiving those things, they have a disability, this program is specifically for them. And I won't go into details on that now, but if you ever want to have us back to talk about the PA Able program, or we can answer some questions about that, we're really happy to do so. That's what we're here for. This is a great program for people with disabilities. And finally, do you have unclaimed property? No, it is not land. It is not a building. It is unclaimed property is money that gets returned to the state through a process called escheatment. It comes back to us from bank accounts that might have been yours that got closed that you didn't know that money was still in there. It might be money from a life insurance policy that you didn't know somebody took out on you or that you forgot that you had. It might be money from, there's just so many places we get the money that you just don't even know. It is so worth it to go to patreasury.gov/consumer and look for your unclaimed property. It's a simple search. You put your last name in, your first name in, you say you're not a robot, and you see if you have money. And it's for real. We say 1 in 10 people has money out there. I find when I'm out and about, and I know, Jimmy, you probably do too, we find people have money. 1 in 8, maybe 1 in 7. I mean, we really find a lot of money. And I found anywhere up to $70,000 to almost $300,000. I'm not saying everybody has that, but that's money we found for individuals. We find money for businesses too. If you want to look, thank you for posting that, Arlene. Thank you. Look, it could be a nice Christmas gift for you. So I'm going to end with that, and I'm going to have us do question and answer. And we thank you so much. You can see our 1-800 number here. Please jot that down because that's going to be where you'll find more answers if you need them. Thank you. Should I
Thank
stop
you.
sharing or leave it here?
I will take back the screen. Before we do have questions, I just wanted to make sure we finished off from the Reading School District side. Just a reminder for everyone who's watching or might be watching later on our YouTube. Our next parent seminars is going to be, I'm sorry, I put December, January and February. And then we have an early dismissal for students December 20th. And we are on vacation. Students are on vacation December 23rd through January 2nd. So make sure that you pay attention to that. And then January 16th is our next and final Pizza and Perspectives with the superintendent, Dr. Murray. So that is at 6 p.m. at Northeast Middle School. Please make sure you make it to that. It will be your last chance to come to one of these. As a reminder, our superintendent, Dr. Murray, will give a presentation on everything happening in the district, construction, programs, everything. And then at the end of it, you will have a chance to either give comments, ask questions, or make suggestions to not just our superintendent, but also our administrative team here at the district. So please make sure that if you haven't gone to one of the other two that have happened already, that you do go to this one because it will be the last one for this year. We also have an early dismissal January 17th. There is no classes for students the 20th of January. And just as a reminder, our second academic quarter ends January 23rd, which means that we will be entering the third quarter January 24th. And there are no classes January 14th and 17th. So those are all the important dates that you need coming up before our next virtual session in March. All right. And then finally, again, thank you so much for joining us. Here is all of our information in case you need it. And then you can take a screenshot of this. And finally, before we end the recording, I do want to thank you once again for joining us, either here live at the session or on YouTube. I am going to end the recording in 1 second, so please give me a chance to do that, and then we can start asking questions.
Before people start asking questions, I would love to just say
Let
good
me
job.
just stop for recording 1 second.